Hi, this is Akiko Sudano and StampinInTheMeadows.com in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. And I want to thank you for joining me today. And let me see, am I broadcasting? Let's see here. I don't see anything showing up on my computer yet. Okay. Let me see here. Oops, I see a little blue dot. Maybe that, oh, there we go. Yep. Okay. Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for joining me. Hi, Chi. Thank you for joining me too. And so today I'm going to make another holiday themed thank you card with the Poinsettia Petals bundle and this pretty Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper. I'm doing great today, Karen. How are you? It's a busy weekend, but it's a beautiful day. It's a little bit cool in Pennsylvania, but it's sunny today after 2 days of rain. So we're doing really great. So I hope everybody else is doing great too. So this card today is I used actually all of the poinsettias. They're not stamped. They are die cut out of this panel of paper from the Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper. And then when they have the closeout sale, hi Karen, thank you so much for joining me. When they have the closeout sale, this designer series paper is going to be on sale for 30% off, I believe. So this is I think a lot of the papers, most of the papers that they had in this catalog are just beautiful, but this one is very, very pretty. So what I did was I die cut some of these poinsettias on this panel can be die cut with the die from that goes with this that cuts out this particular poinsettia from the poinsettia dies. Oh, also the poinsettia dies when they have the giant closeout. The bundle is going to be retiring. However, the stamp set and the dies are going to be carried over, and I just don't remember if they're going to be carried over into the annual catalog when it's published next summer, or if it's going to be just carried over of constantly available. So the bundle's going away, but and the paper is going away as well. So what I did was I die cut this particular poinsettia, and then I used one of the centers, and I popped it up on dimensional so that the card actually has a little bit of dimension and it gives it a little bit more interest. Now, one of the things I was concerned about was that I didn't end up cutting out this poinsettia center. It looks like one of these other poinsettia centers. They all cut out, and you can pop them on top and then just offset them, arrange them in any way that you like, and it all goes together so well. So I cut out, I think that for the one today, I'm going to be using this poinsettia. And then I cut out a point. I also fussy cut out one of these other poinsettias to use on the inside of the card. And I'll show you that. See how that's all fussy cut, and then since even though it's trimmed off some of these petals right here, I was able to use you can go ahead and use that one and put it in there because you're going to trim off some of the edges anyway. So this I thought I was able to put this pretty sheet of designer series paper to pretty good use and not waste too much of it, which I was a little bit concerned about with doing that initially. So let me go ahead and start assembling this card. I've done a lot of fussy cutting and die cutting ahead of time. And okay, the first thing I'm going to do is one of the things with the designer series paper is that it's a little bit thin. So I like to, especially because I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals, I went ahead and I die cut a backing panel out of Whisper White, and it's just another piece of Whisper White that I can easily die cut. So I went ahead and I did that, and now it's just a matter of figuring out how these pieces go. But it fits it perfectly. So see, I'm able to just put some glue on there, line it up, and I can use my fingers to just line it up and give it a good press. And there we go. And then this gives it, just adding that little extra gives it a little bit more strength and sturdiness, especially with being popped up on dimensionals, so it doesn't end up flopping all over when people or bending. That's the worst, bending when people go to open the card. That would be so disappointing. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of these things aside, and I've glued that poinsettia to the backing. And then this is another piece of paper from the poinsettia place. And both of these are, and you can see that this is the other side. This paper is just so, like Karen, like you said, it's just so beautiful. I love every one of these. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little panel, and I cut this out with the stitched shapes, one of the squares from the stitched shapes dies, and you can use, and I'm going to just glue this on so that this is flat onto this piece of this other piece of designer series paper. And then I'll take this and I'll put this on a soft suede mat that's cut just 1/8 of an inch longer and wider. So do that, and then adhere this, and let's see, yeah, there we go. Okay, then the next thing that I'm going to do is let's go ahead and pop this this flower onto the panel here, and we'll use dimensionals to put that on. And I made a little bow with the linen thread, that beautiful linen thread. I think this one I want to leave off so I can tuck my bow underneath there. Let me pull this off. I have a little thing to put my my garbage in so that I don't. Now I'm going to put it over here, so I don't want anything here, but I do want to put something right up here. There we go. Put another dimensional up here. There, and we'll leave this area kind of open so we can tuck our bow underneath it. So we'll put it on something like that. There we go. And then we'll arrange something like that. Put it down. Okay. Didn't get all my tools. So next, I've made this the loopy bow, and what I did with make this bow is I took the linen thread and I wrapped it around 3 fingers, and I did it 4 times with the extra strands going around, and then I just tied that all together. And so I'm going to just take a glue dot and stick a glue dot on the back of that. and then tuck it underneath the flower. And the three fingers, with just a little bit of space there, seems to be the perfect, gave me the perfect size, I think, so that I would have some stuff underneath here, and just stick it under there and slide it up so that it, yeah, that's good. There. And then fix some of these loops. There. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. So then this is the other little flower. This is the other center. And like I said, this is not the same as that center. And yet it's going to, if I can pop it in with dimensionals and pop it on top of that with some dimensionals. And I might need to cut cut this guy a little bit more so that he doesn't stick out. So that I've got some support here. And is that good enough? I think that's good enough. So I'll put this back on and pull the covers off. And then put this on, and it makes it look, and it's, they don't have to line up exactly. They can just, I think that, do it this way. Kind of keep it in the center, but, and it just looks like another set of petals. And I would not have thought about that. The OCD in me would have said, oh my goodness, I have to use the same one. But I don't. It ends up being fine using a different one. Oh, thank you, Karen. Thank you for I think Mary is actually the makes the best bows like this. So she's definitely my inspiration. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this on the card base, and I used a real red card base. And for this example, for the demonstration today, I'm using a top folding card base, whereas my sample card is a side folding card base. And with this design, I think that either one of those will do just fine. And putting it on a soft suede mat like that gives it just a little bit. Oh, thank you, Karen. That's sweet of you to say. Putting it on the soft suede mat gives it just a little bit of contrast, so that you've got a little bit of a little bit more better definition against the red. And then also it makes it so that you can you've got a little bit of extra weight here and a little more stiffness for here it is. Here's my other rest of my dimensions for giving you a dimensional card. And I started putting together some of my Christmas cards, and I said to myself, oh my goodness, those beautiful beaded pearls, they're also on sale. And I think those were on sale for 50% off. So those are a really, really good deal. But as I was looking at my Christmas cards, trying to figure out who to send things to, it was like, oh my goodness, these are so thick that I have to be careful about who I send them to, so that, because they're going to just definitely, it makes the flower really, really thick. But when you do it like this card is still pretty flat, so that it will be nicely mailed. And yet it's still, since you've got that dimension, it still makes it pretty nice. Hi, Pam. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you. That's a sweet thing to say. Thank you. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to stamp my little label, my little thank you label. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little piece of ribbon underneath it so that that extends it. And then also it gives it a little bit more red against all this natural. And I guess I maybe should have, I'm not doing this in the camera. Oh boy. So I'm going to just put just a little bit of Stampin' Seal on the ribbon, and maybe that should have gone on the paper, but we'll put that down first. Get out of the way, get out of the way. Put that down kind of to the edge, and that's good. And then we'll go ahead and make our label. And what I've done is I've got a piece of 3/4 of an inch by, and I think it's like 2.5, 2.1/8 inches. And I'm going to use this this new punch to make a fishtail end. It's just so much easier. When I try to cut them with my scissors, they end up, even with the proven techniques, I can't seem to get them straight. So I love it when I've got a good punch that allows me to do this, and I just have to make sure it's lined up, and then just punch it out, and just try to align it in the middle between the two edges there, and see, it comes out pretty good. Now, one of the things is with this, since it's such a long, I cut this a little bit longer so that I have so that I can get it get it in there and manipulate it. It makes it easier for me to manipulate the paper. And so I've got my sentiment on my stamp block, and I'm going to stamp that in soft suede ink. And so let's... Yeah, so Karen, you know what I'm saying. Yep, it's hard for me. So I'm just going to stamp it here. And hopefully this is straight. I think it's a little bit off, but let's see how it looks. Now let me just try it one more on the other side. Just be a little bit more careful. And one of the things that I thought was really nice about this this size is that it there, that's much better. It cuts just a sliver of that, so that I really don't need I've got the sentiment, and it doesn't take away from very much of the other of the rest of the card. So let me go get my trimmer. Let me get my paper trimmer. I should have had that ready. But one of the things with this, using these banners, is that it ends up being, okay, so this is just way too long. So I can just, but I've got it. So all I need to do now is get some room, and I can just trim it with my paper trimmer as close as I want it. And it's lined up. And there, and this way I don't have to deal with having, this short little thing trying to stick that in the punch, and just make it longer, and then stamp your sentiment, and then trim it afterwards, and it ends up being pretty nice, because you know about how long you need it. And this second one ended up being just a little bit shorter, but I don't think it's going to matter. And I've got my red ribbon sticking out of there anyway. So then this, the label I'm going to attach, here we go, with glue dots. And I'm going to put my glue dots kind of on the top and bottom edge of the ribbon, so that I can make sure that the label is sticking to the, not just the ribbon, but sticking to the paper as well. So pull and one, final one, and there's my banner. I'll use this, move that ribbon away, and then I want to line it up kind of with the outside edge there, and kind of so that this is sort of centered like that. I really like the way this one came out, with this ribbon being just a little bit longer. And this is straight. Yeah, it looks good. All right. So to finish off the front, we don't need that. That's garbage. These wonderful gems. I decided to. It needed just a little bit more touch of red, so I'm going to add 3 of these wonderful gems. Oops, I lost the bottom on that one. These wonderful gems also, they're going to be back. They're going to be returning. So I'm so excited because they are so pretty. Because you've got just a touch of gold glitter. And it's really, really nice. One up here. And then that was the one that was coming unglued. And then one more kind of right here on the green. No, up here. Yeah. There. So you've got just a little more red to accent the flower, and then the green, and then on a real red card base. Okay, so let's work on the inside. So I didn't stamp a sentiment on the inside of my card. I just have a strip of designer series paper and then the flower on top of that. And I'm just going to use liquid glue to adhere the designer series paper to the bottom of the Whisper White panel. And I believe this is cut to 3 3/4 by 5. I'll adhere that down, and I like to use liquid glue because I for adding my trim on the bottom, because I just can't do it with a Stampin' Seal or with snail. I need to be able to check the back, make sure it's okay in the back, and be able to move it around. I think I need to just slide it over a little bit more. There we go. And then I will add some glue, and I'm going to add this to the back of my flower, and I'm going to have the flower kind of on here, and I want to be careful. Actually, I don't think it's going to matter if I go over on the flower, but I just want to make sure that the parts that are on the card are going to stay nice and snug. So I'm adding my liquid glue around the ends here, and I'm going to check it out. I'm going to do it this way. Yeah, I want to do it this way so I can come down and add more through here. That's fine. That looks good. Put that down. And then the nice thing too, I want to make sure that all these pieces that are cut off are not going to be there. I'm not going to show. And then pull my paper snips out, and I could use my paper cutter, I guess, but it seems to me that it's just as easy because it's a nice straight line to just cut it with my paper snips. I think this is the best kind of fussy cutting one. I can just line the blade up with the edge of the paper and cut nice and straight. There. And then I think that's pretty with the wood grain shining, showing through. So move this aside. Oh, I don't have any glue on that one. All right, there we go. And then put some Stampin' Seal, here it is, on the back of my Whisper White panel. There we go. And then put it on the inside of my card. So I hope everybody has a beautiful week. I'm so excited about Christmas coming. I feel like I'm finally starting to get into the Christmas spirit. We started to put some Christmas decorations up, and that really helped a lot. Exactly, Karen. So, okay, let's be a little bit more careful here. Line it up and line it with the cover corners. There we go. So it's got plenty of room for you to write your little thank you note and extra piece of poinsettia for the holiday. And so there's my card for you today. So I hope you guys are all ready for the holiday. I hope you have a great week, and thank you so much for joining me. And I'll be back next week, and hopefully we'll have like a sneak peek of some new products from the new catalog. I hope my order gets you. So thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Don't forget about the sale on Tuesday, I think it is. So put your shopping list together. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Bye-bye.